According to the official website of PM Cares Fund, the fund has received over 39.68 lakh rupees by foreign contributions as of now. However, there is no clear evidence of an FCRA certificate being issued to the PM Cares Fund, even though it doesn't clearly fulfill the conditions for the exemption from the same. Watch this video to find out more. FCRA or Foreign Contribution Regulation Act is an act of the Indian Parliament which checks and regulates the foreign contributions to certain individuals, associations or companies. This is done in order to prevent any kind of funding which could prove out to be detrimental to the national interests of India. The FCRA disallows officials like judges and organizations like political parties to receive any kind of foreign contribution. However, it allows certain NGOs to receive foreign contributions by the process of issuing them FCRA certificates. Public charitable funds like the PM Cares Fund should also be issued FCRA certificates for receiving foreign funds. However, it was seen in the reply to an RTI which was filed by Mr. Saket Gokhale that the FCRA certificate of PM Cares Fund could not be issued because the disclosure of that information wasn't likely to serve in larger public interest. Every public authority is required to provide the information to the citizens of India under the Right to Information Act of 2005. This is the list of government entities which are not public authorities. Public charitable trusts receiving foreign corporate donations serve an immense public interest. However, the information isn't being provided by the Prime Minister's office. I won't comment on whether the PM Cares Fund even has the FCRA certificate to receive those foreign donations or not, but I would definitely tell you why is it fishy for the Prime Minister's office to withhold that information. Section 50 of the FCRA gives the central government powers to exempt any organization except any political party from the provisions of FCRA if it feels that it is in the larger public interest for the organization to receive foreign contribution or donations. This includes prestigious organizations such as the ones working in India under the United Nations or organizations like Bharat Ke Veer, Overseas India Development Foundation, etc. Now, here is a bureaucratic mismatch to this issue. In July 2011, the Ministry of Home Affairs issued an order which exempted all the bodies established by a central or state act and were audited by the CAG to be exempted from the FCRA. The current government in January 2020 issued a revised order which included as well the bodies established by an executive order of the central government or state government to be exempted by the FCRA on the same condition that they were being audited by CAG. The problem is that the PM Cares Fund is neither established by a law nor by an executive order. Rather, it has been registered by the government as a public charitable trust under the Registration Act of 1908. And every body registered under that act, established under that act, are public authorities, which makes the government bound to provide information about it under the Right to Information Act. The fund isn't even being audited by the CAG, rather by a private company called SARC and Associates, which makes the case even stronger for the government to not exempt it from the provisions of FCRA. This just sets a precedent for the public to observe the PM Cares Fund as not being a public authority. This also makes the position of the government stronger and more firm by the day as they reject more and more RTIs on the same issue. With such levels of ambiguity, an immense public concern should be raised as to whether we should allow the Prime Minister's office to withhold information about PM Cares Fund or not. This also marks ambiguity over much more important questions which could be raised to the PM Cares Fund in the future. Different angles to the PM Cares would be questioned in the further episodes in this series. Till then, stay tuned to our Instagram, Twitter and YouTube channels. This is Priyam Shukla and you're watching Journal.